Sure. Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd just like to open with a few comments, and then I will be happy to walk through. I'm taking the definitions part of the bill, and I'll be happy to describe a few of those. So first, back in 2023, when I first learned about sustainable aviation fuel, as coming particularly from the world of meteorology, and worried about a changing climate, we know that one of the toughest things to crack is transportation emissions. And while we can do things to electrify our vehicle fleet, that does not work so well with airplanes. Batteries are heavy. That is the antithesis of what you want in an airplane. You want it to be light and to fly. And so the fact that sustainable aviation fuel can potentially reduce jet emissions by 50% is a big deal. And then also, it is one of those situations where I look for these win-win situations. So here's something that we can do to benefit the climate. What we can also do is to benefit our local economy here in Minnesota, particularly our local farmers, by giving them a new market to sell their crops to. And then, lo and behold, a sustainable aviation fuel plant has been proposed for my district. And so it now becomes a super win-win, a triple win, the trifecta of wins. So we're bringing 650 jobs potentially to my district to have a sustainable aviation fuel plant there, and also a market for the farmers in western Minnesota and really all of eastern North Dakota too that will benefit from this. So super exciting. So just going back to 2023, we did, first, we provided a $1.50 per gallon refundable tax credit for sustainable aviation fuel that was produced in Minnesota or blended in Minnesota and then uplifted into an aircraft that departs the state. The tax credit went into effect in 2024 and has a 7-year sunset in 2023, but we're going to look to extend that today. So I'll just go kind of through the definitions of the bill. First, there is a list of definitions that are pretty self-explanatory, and what an aircraft is, what an aviation gasoline is, what the commissioner means, things like that. And then we get down to line 1.15. And it says it is derived from biomass as defined in section 41A15. And so what biomass includes in that section are ag crops and trees, wood waste, aquatic plants, grasses, residues, fibers, animal waste, or organic portion of solid waste are defined in that. And then we are going to add, as you can see underlined there, is gaseous carbon oxides. That's the thing we're going to add in this amendment here today. And that is a new technology. That's why we're going to need to add that. This can utilize CO2 as a feedstock for SAF, or Sustainable Aviation Fuel production. Possible sources of the CO2 include gaseous carbon oxides captured at cement plants or other industrial processes, fermentation by products released from ethanol plants, and direct air capture. The current definition in statute does not account for this. That's why we're making the change, and the timing is critical to update the definition of sustainable aviation fuel in statute to provide regulatory certainty to those producers. And so the rest of the definitions that are in place talk about the life cycle of greenhouse gases, fuel production pathways, and then goes on to the back. The other thing we're changing, as I mentioned before, is the effective date, and that we're extending out this to 2035 from its current position of 2030.